All right, Haiden Deegan, home track.
Yep.
Back in California. When was the last time you were in California?
Last national.
Yeah. Are you serious?
Year. Been 1 year.
That's crazy.
Wait, no. It's LA Coliseum.
Okay.
Yeah, so twice.
Yeah. And so does the East Coast feel like home now, Florida, Georgia, or is this still home?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Florida. Big fan of Florida, honestly. I'm a Cali kid. When I get back here, this is home. I like California. When I race here, I feel like I'm at home. So, I mean, I have a feeling it's going to be a good weekend.
That's cool. What about, are you going to stay here until Hangtown, or is the team making you go back and ride East Coast during the week?
No, we got the team to allow me to stay during the week, so that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so what are you going to do this week then? After Paul, are you going to get to ride at home, do some corner track action, or head up to local tracks?
Yeah, I don't know. I like Lake Elsinore because they have those like whip jumps. So maybe just hit up the local spots again.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Supercross. Is there any small part of you that's like a little bit happy you didn't win the championship so that you get an extra year of development in the 250 class? I mean, nowadays with the 250 class, it's not a stepping stone into the 450 class. I mean, it's seriously a premier class. You've seen the crowds that you've been able to draw out to the races, and they're watching you in the 250 class. So it's also a career for a lot of guys like RJ, Christian Craig. So what's your thought process on that? Is there a slim chance that you're like happy you didn't win, or?
Yeah, I mean, if I won it, I'm stoked. If I didn't, I'm not tripping. Like, It's not a big deal to me. Although, obviously, when you're that close to it, losing it by 4 points, it sucks. But moving up to a 450 when you're 19 or 20 you're gonna be on a 450 for about 10 years. So, I mean, I'm not stressing it. It gives me more time to come out, and the learning curve's good. I feel like, last year on Supercross got some podiums. This year got 3 wins, and then now next year we tick off wins, and hopefully the championship. So, but the learning curve's going good.
That's awesome. Has bike changed at all since last year, or are you pretty much picking up where you left off?
Well, I mean, we got the whole new bike,
exactly.
So
yeah, that's right.
It has changed a little. With the new bike, we've had to go a little stiffer. Like these bikes with our old setups, they were soft. So I'm not exactly sure what made that happen, but yeah, we went a little. We got the outdoor setup pretty dialed in. I mean, with the short time you have to test and on a new bike, we got it good. So yeah, I'm confident.
That's awesome. Are you a guy that's super sensitive to lever position, suspension, or are you kind of a guy that just hops on and goes for it?
No, I just run whatever I have, honestly. I think that's a good thing. I think last year, or even Supercross season, I didn't change one thing the whole season.
That's awesome.
It's just weird because all the tracks are different pretty much, but I barely would even do a clicker change. I would just race it. I'm just a kid out of this race. I'm a racer, so I'm not really like, oh, I can't race today if my bike's not right. I'm not like that. I mean, if the bike's awesome, if it's set up perfect, that's a plus. And if it's not the greatest setup, I'm a racer. I learn how to adapt.
Honestly, I think I'm similar. If I get on a bike and don't care, I can just go for it. But if I prepping for, I'm gonna race this weekend, and so for the first time, I'm dialing in the suspension for me, and it's the first time in a while, and I'm overthinking too many things.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets you off into a hole where it's just take the bike, ride it, and go. And I think sometimes that can make you mentally stronger on the track too. You're not thinking about that mid-moto, right?
Yeah, you just think about yourself and pushing forward instead of, I'm not doing good because on my bike. I hate having to blame the suspension So it's nicer just to have that mindset where you can kind of just ride whatever you got.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna remember that this weekend. Try to do a little bit better. Not worry about my bike setup so much.
Yeah.
For you, favorite track, what are you looking forward to this year? Is there one track that hits the mark, or is it this weekend because it's like a home race?
I mean, yeah, I always say it. I mean, Fox is my favorite track. I grew up here. This is my spot every week for about 10 years. So this is my favorite place by far, because it's the hometown as well. I mean, not just the hometown, it's a good track as well. Gets rough, technical, and yeah, I'm excited.
What about, you rode a two-stroke the other day, 250 two-stroke. We were back east riding with Cody Schock. He was riding a two-stroke, and he talked about the actual benefits that came from it. He was on a 125, you were on a 250, right? So the 125 helped him carry more momentum, but was it fun for you to mix it up and ride a different bike and then jump back on your race bike?
Yeah, it was cool to ride that two-stroke. I mean, I only rode it for a little just for that video, but
gotcha.
it's crazy. The two-stroke's actually, like, it was a built 252 stroke, and that thing had more bottom end than my Star bike. Like, the Star bike, it's a 4-stroke, obviously, it's different, and it'll like go kind of a slower power band on the bottom and then take off, but two-stroke just hits. It's pretty gnarly.
Do you think there's any benefit to riding it more at all, or not really? Just stick to the program.
Yeah.
What works?
I mean, I don't know if I really would hop around bikes. I think I just stick to what I got and do the program.
Cool. All right. Well, good luck. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Happens, huh?
Yep.
Where the magic goes down?
Yep. All right, Joey Savatgy. When was the last time you were racing?
I raced some AMA Supercross last year.
Yep.
I raced the first 5 or 6 of 23, and then I raced the WSX. So whenever that ended in November of 23, right? I think somewhere in November.
Right around there, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So what's it like to be Joey Savatgy today, 2 days before Paula?
I've had a lot of downtime, unfortunately, but in the same breath, I've had a lot of time to work on myself and kind of fine-tune some things that maybe needed to be worked on. Some issues that have been neglected for maybe too long. So yeah, I've had a lot of downtime, like I said, unfortunately, but it's given me time in the same breath to fix things, and that, like I said, needed to be addressed. That it's hard to fix when you're going all year long. You know, you go from Supercross straight to outdoor with 1 weekend off. Like, you can never really set aside time 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time to like work on something.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, so I've had time to do that, which has been nice.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, our sport is nonstop. You get 1 week off, you know, here and there, but you've actually had time and you've been riding for Triumph, so I'm guessing they're paying you the whole time to ride a dirt bike still, so that's kind of a positive to where you can focus on all the things you need to focus on. Was there any setbacks in the middle of it all, or is it just kind of slow progress the whole time?
Honestly, it's been really lucky. We've had nothing but forward momentum, I'd say, almost the whole time.
Nice.
I did a little bit of the Supercross testing early on before the guys actually signed with the team.
Yeah.
And then I've done a little bit of outdoor testing, like just kind of a general direction, but I've really focused on just my stuff and trying to get a sense of direction. And yeah, but like you said, our sport is so go that, you know, for me, like personally, I've struggled in the sand in the past. And so, you know, like the first month and a half that I only rode sand.
Nice.
And it was one of those things that, like, if I'm going to fix it, I have to do it now.
Yeah.
Because if I have an opportunity to start venturing away and focusing on riding a normal track, like, I'll never throw myself in the deep end again. So I've had time to fix things like that again, needed attention. But it's like, when have I had time in the past to go, say, ride Kroom for 3 weeks in a row and only ride sand and kind of throw yourself in the deep end, sink or swim style. So it's, like I said, it's been good. I've helped out a little bit, as much as I could. But yeah, I'm excited.
Was Zach Osborne helping you out there for a little bit?
Yeah, it was kind of just like, he was a riding partner because he was contemplating coming back. But he was also bored, so we were doing a lot of our stuff together at first, and then we'll come out to the track usually once a week, sometimes twice. And it's not necessarily like the help that you think. It's more of just like another set of eyes, his thoughts on where we're at, and, you know, what could be better type stuff. So again, a lot of our work that we've done and things that we've worked on have come from a collaboration of what I think and what he thinks, and we've kind of just hybrided them a little bit. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite the story. I mean,
yeah,
the storybook of you know, rivalry and redemption of the relationship. You know, it's like quite the story if you flash back and then flash forward. So how did that even come about?
Yeah, it was one of those things that in 21 I was working with Seth Rarick, and I was just cycling a lot by his house, whether I was with Seth or by myself, and he finally stopped one day in his van next to me. He's like, "Hey, why don't you hit me up?" I'm like, "I don't know, dude. Like, I'm just doing my stuff." And he's like,
"You took me out before.
Next time you want to go, like, hit me up." And so it started, and then Seth got his job on the Austrian side, and I was kind of left with nothing. And I was just like, man, I don't really know what direction I want to go. And so he started helping me a little bit at first. And then we brought in our trainer, Ryan. And it just worked because his trainer and my trainer are the same guy. So, like, a lot of our stuff just kind of synced together. Bike rides, gym, like, a lot of stuff made sense. And again, you know, like, things didn't end how I wanted it to. And there was a lot of tension. But at the end of the day, like, you have to respect him as a competitor. So it was somebody that I looked at and I was like, man, he figured it out when a lot of people didn't think he could, and he's very smart in areas, so can't hurt to bring him on board, and yeah, it's been good.
That's awesome. That's a cool story.
Yeah, it's
I appreciate
not
you
what
sharing
people
that.
thought it was going to be, but yeah, it's just like I said, he's a smart guy. He's won at the highest level, and what better set of eyes to have at the track than somebody who's done it.
That's cool. And the Triumph 250, I got the chance to ride it. It's pretty much the ultimate tease. So the guys flew us out to Florida. We got to ride the coolest track in the world, perfectly prepped, and the bike was amazing. I had a ton of fun on it, and I put the disclaimer at the end of the video. You know, this is riding it after they've been feeding us nice food and putting us on a nice track. And they've yet to give us one here in California. They said it was going to be 3 weeks. It's been a couple months, but I can't wait to get one here. What's it like to ride one for you? I mean, did you ever spend any time on the stock production version, or? I
spent a lot of time on it, actually. Okay. Yeah, it's one of those things that, again, they had their hands full with Jalik Supercross, so I spent a good amount of time on a stock one, and I'm gonna be honest, dude, I put that thing through hell, and there was literally no issues. Like, that's cool. Never had a single issue. So from a reliability standpoint, like I could not believe it, because I mean, like I said, we were taking it to Croom, to these local places that are just hellholes, to be honest, of sand. Just, I mean, you're abusing the motorcycle, and we would go do 230s and just abuse it, and dude, just time after time, 15 hours, like send it back, get a new one. Wow. And like, I have nothing but good things to say. You know, as far as what does a motorcycle feel like, I know people want to know that, but it's just like such a different feel. Like, I haven't figured out how to really explain it. You know, some of it's coming from a 450, it's going to be a different feel, but the chassis itself is just such a different feel to it that I don't know how to explain it other than I like it. That's cool. That's cool. All right, and I had one other question, and it's kind of running away from me now. Talked about the bike, talked about that.
Your plans are 450 next year, right?
Yes. I don't know. I try not to think too far ahead, one foot after another, but my plan right now is to go do my job this summer and see what comes. So yeah, I don't have a super long, drawn out plan ahead other than just one race at a time right now. I know it's kind of a lame answer, but I've spent a lot of time in this off season just to get ready for this, so my focus is entirely this right now.
That's cool. And then last question, seat bumps. Our friend Ryan Nitson does the corner coach, and we heard that you had one and saw a little bit. Did you actually use that on your bike a little bit?
Yeah, I did a little bit, just to kind of get a sense of direction.
Sense of direction how? Like to where to put a seat bump at? Or
a lot of things.
Really?
Yeah, things that, again, I've had time to, I've had a lot of downtime.
Okay. So you do like to sit far forward on the bike. Yeah. So is that why you're putting it up there?
I just, yeah, like I said, I've had a lot of time to work on things.
That's cool.
Again, like a part of the honing process and polishing areas that needed to be worked on is I've had time to do that. So that's cool. Yeah, it's just been a couple heads put together, thinking, brainstorming, watching, and just trying to digest things that have happened in the past and how they maybe could have been avoidable.
Awesome. Well, last quick story. I've known this guy for a long time. We went to Italy together. France and Italy, right? What was that? 2010 was France. Yeah. 2010 was France, and Italy was 2011. Yep. You went to Italy also. Yep. So we went to the Junior World Championships. That's coming up again this year. I know Jaden Smart is going. A bunch of other fast kids are going. So you come a long way since then. We have. Stoked for you, and excited for your series this year.
Thank you, man.
Good stuff.
Appreciate it.
I'm going in.
All right, guys, we're here with Ty Masterpool. Press conference is done. Thursday, we're about to do some press day riding. What's it like to be Ty Masterpool right now?
Pretty good. Just looking forward to the season. It was kind of a rough Supercross season for me. I got my appendix removed last year, and they pumped me full of antibiotics, and it was like I just had a whole bunch of random stuff going on all year. Like I tore my calf going up a face of a jump. Like I was doing the exact same thing. I was like halfway through my 20-minute moto and tore my calf, and then just like my gut health is really bad now because of that. So it's like I'm finally feel like I got all the antibiotics out of my system. So it's like the last 2 weeks I'm like finally starting to feel like myself. So yeah, really looking to just build through the outdoor season, and yeah, looking forward to it.
That's cool. What was I mean, you were battling up front last year, passing Cooper Webb back and forth at Thunder Valley last year. What was your favorite round last year? You were 4th or 5th overall was your best?
Fourth.
Fourth overall.
Yeah, I went like 4-4 for like 6 overall at Thunder Valley, I believe. But I got 4th overall after that. But I was like, I don't even know how that works.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, what was like the highlight of your year last year that you think back on still when you go to bed at night?
Probably Thunder Valley for sure. I don't think everything really sunk into me for a couple of days to what I did, but yeah, it was crazy. I mean, the first moto or the second moto, I went down the first corner, came back to like 5th or 4th, whatever crazy it was. But yeah, probably Thunder Valley for sure. It's pretty sweet.
That's awesome. So Thunder Valley, I raced it last year, completely rutted, completely gnarly track, and that's why a guy like this can excel in those conditions and make up a ton of ground, because it wasn't easy. And I think the tougher the track is, it more exposes your weaknesses. So this guy's pretty strong. I'm excited to see how you do this year. Last year you started in the 250 class at Paula, and then you switched to a 450 for Hangtown, and you had like 2 days on it, not a lot of time prepping.
Yeah.
Now you at least have all of last year, even though Supercross wasn't as much as you liked. Like, how much further ahead now are you than you were when you went into Hangtown last year?
Yeah, so much. Believe it or not, I rode a 450 like 3 times ever before that. It was funny, like, it was like a month before the outdoor start. I was like, let's get a 450, start training on it just for, it's hard, like those 250s, they're so expensive. I spent like my whole budget on the 250, and it's so hard to compete with the factory guys. All these teams are fantastic now, and it's really hard to compete with them as a full privateer. So we made the decision to go to the 450 and stuff, just because it's, you know, I mean, the motor will last forever. You don't have to rebuild them every 5 to 10 hours. So yeah, we made that, and the first round I actually raced with my 250 suspension.
Wow.
Because we didn't even have time to get 450 suspension. And then yeah, it was kind of hard all year. We were just battling because testing. I mean, I did no testing, and we're just fighting that. But this year I'm really happy with the bike, really happy with the suspension, and yeah, feeling a lot better. The fitness is getting there, not as strong as I was last year, just because all the small problems I've been having, but yeah, feeling really good, and yeah, blessed, and looking forward to the year. It's gonna be good, and yeah, big shout out to HBI and stuff. They've been a huge help, Matt and Darla, and yeah, I can't thank them enough. Very, very good people.
That's awesome. So, and he's also sticking on the 2023 KX450. You see the KX450 is all new for 2024, but it helps you out to stick with the same platform that you already know from last year, right?
Yeah. The plan was stick to Supercross, and then I tested the 24 a little bit, but it's hard. I got like 5 Pro Circuit engines already, and the inventory's already there, and it's not really in the budget to get 5 more PC engines for the 2024. So yeah, plan is just staying on the 2023s, and then yeah, but really happy with the bike.
That's awesome. All right, well, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Sweet.
Heck yeah.
You've been staying out here.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Haven't moved 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yeah, station. Camp Pendleton.
Crazy.
Here.
All right, Marshal Weltin here. He's been riding and putting in a lot of laps at Paula lately, and now you're fresh off Supercross season, and you're going to be riding at a track that you've been at a ton lately.
No excuses.
No excuses, huh?
No.
What's it like to be Marshal Weltin right now?
Just see the view out there, orange helmet, and I got to lock in right now.
Yeah. Can't let this guy roost.
So it's been, yeah, good little off season, short, super short. Took like a week of kind of chilling after Supercross and transitioning into outdoors a little bit. It's been pretty easy because I kind of had a 450 as a practice bike. Yeah. So I'd say the transition, like going back to the 450 after doing East Coast lights, is not super tough for me. Just getting the start styled in, little stuff, but yeah, I think we're in a good place.
That's cool. So if you guys don't remember exactly who Marshall is, you will remember the last lap of the 250 LCQ from Salt Lake City. Dude, that was heartbreaking. I thought that you were just trying to play it safe in the whoops, and Max was able to get
There's
you.
There's nothing safe about that.
Nothing safe about the LCQ. No. Explain what happened for people who don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, exiting the rhythm section the last lap, left foot peg fell off and went over the tunnel, and I went to like land and put my foot down. Nothing. So I did like the next left and right, and I was like, dang, I gotta hit the whoops now. And I just like tucked my foot in like that on the peg mount and just tried to do what I could, but it wasn't enough, unfortunately. So dude, bummer deal.
That's gnarly.
Yeah, I was pretty bummed
so
about
the
it.
Mount came, the peg came off, or the mount came off? Like it came off at the peg, just the peg.
The peg did, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure really what caused it. Could have been a mechanical or faulty part, but bummer deal.
Yeah.
Bummer deal for sure.
Dude, that's gnarly. I've never had that happen. I hope it never happens
I
again.
hope that
right?
never happens to you.
Yeah.
I don't wish it on anybody.
All right. And then 450, give us a rundown of like who built your bike and what you have done to it.
Right now we're just on a production YZ 450.
Really?
I've been working with Clint Stapes, guy local out of Marietta. He's been a huge help to my program, all of Supercross. I actually got to give a lot of credit to him for any success I've had in SX. He spent a lot of time with me during the week. We haven't got much time to work outdoors together, but I think I'm in a good place right now. But yeah, the bike's standard YZ 450 stock engine with ECU and FMF exhaust.
Crazy. That's
what
awesome.
it is, yeah.
And Stapes in the suspension, stock
Stapes,
clamps,
yeah. Yep,
stock offset,
clamps,
everything.
Stock offset, yep.
Nice.
All OEM.
I like it.
Stock clutch purge. We're
Just going for it.
there, yeah.
I like it. All right. Well, good luck.
Thanks.